best time to have sex and how long to wait. But nobody talks about how a lot of these men are not using you for that, but rather they're using you for intimacy. Now, sex can be a part of intimacy, but intimacy also looks like talking on the phone all night, texting all day, coming over to chill.
Yes! Please go watch that video. I swear to God. They may use you for schmegs, but in my experience, men used me way more just because they're lonely. They're so desperate for attention, for validation, for someone to listen to, someone just to be around you. And if you're on the dating apps, whoa, these men will literally message you all day, every day, for months, and never meet up with you. I'm going to show y'all an example in a second because it's bonkers to me. Because a lot of these men don't have friends. Sorry to bring it back to this, but this is another reason why I wrote this article. Men don't have friends. So they use us for everything that or if they do have friends, they're empty friendships with other men, okay? So they use us, even if they're not in a relationship with us, they're not even friends with us, they have no desire to ever even meet up with us. Sometimes they will. Sometimes they want to use our body and schmegs and all that stuff. But a lot of times they are just bored and lonely and have literally nothing else to do. And so they just text you all day. And so like she was saying, you know, a lot of men, it's like it doesn't matter how long you wait to sleep with them. If you choose to take that course, you know, it doesn't matter if they have nothing going on. They just need to be near a woman. They need companionship, even if they want no commitment whatsoever. They need someone to listen to them pontificate. They just want to be near your body. They have nothing. And this is, again, why men need to learn how to have friendships, especially with other men, but just friendships. Because what they do is they come on these apps looking for pen pals. And actually, a lot of times, these men have a girlfriend or a wife right next to them. They need constant validation, constant attention. In fact, a lot of them get off on knowing that they will never meet you. They have no intention of ever meeting you. They just love the, shot of whatever hormone that is they get when they receive that text of they're like, yeah, Because a lot of men are parasites. They literally just take and take and take anything you offer. Stop giving stuff to them. Stop giving them stuff they haven't earned. Stop pouring into them when they ain't doing anything for you. And also, ask yourself or go get help for why you need their validation. Because the thing is a lot of times women actually do want relationships with these men, but the men are not going to do that. Let me show you an example. So I was on Tinder for several years. Tender bender, had the best time of my life. I just wanted to hook up, have fun, maybe date, but whatever. And when I was traveling, I loved being on Tinder because, everyone loves a girl traveling because they know there's no commitment. So I matched with this guy named Laurent, which is a very common French name, while I was in Barcelona. And I was like, hey, he was super hot. And he actually seemed kind of cheesy and dorky, but hot. So we started chatting and whatever. And I was like, by the way, where are you? Let's hook up or, meet up or whatever. I was a horny bunch. And he was like, oh, I'm actually not in Barcelona. I'm like, what? He was in France, hours away, 8 hours away by car or train or anything. And I was like, oh, why did I match with you here? And he gave some excuse about how he'd been there a while ago. I don't believe it. He's using Tinder passport, okay? Now, I had just gotten to Europe. I had no plans. I was going to be all over it. And him and I had chatted for days. I gave days to this guy. So anyway, I just assumed this conversation would die. No, this man texted me every day, the whole time I was in Europe. He was nowhere near me. I was in Barcelona, and then I was traveling all over by myself, looking for, fun and actual hookups. And then I've got this dude in another country being like, hey, sending me photos and, hey, how was your night? How would you eat for dinner? Talking to me like I'm his girlfriend, checking in with me like I'm his girlfriend. Now, skip to a year and a half later, I actually moved to France. Him and I are still talking. We are literal pen pals. And then, literally, we talk regularly. I have never talked on the phone with him or met him face to face, and he texts me all the time. And sometimes we talk about our dates and hookups and stuff. I actually really enjoyed talking to this guy, but we're never gonna meet. So then, check this out. He sends me this photo one day, and I was like, oh my God, you're in Lyon. He was like, yeah, I'm here for the day, but I'm just here working. Because this is a fountain 5 minutes away from where I lived at the time. And I was like, dude, let's meet up for a coffee or something. And he's like, okay. And I already had another date because I was going to hook up with another guy that night. So I went and met him for a coffee, and I was like, it's so good to finally meet you, whatever. And then we like walked down the street, and I was like so corny, y'all. I was like, come on. And I was like, I made out with him in like the street. I think he like fingered me. Because I'm just like, what the, like, I've been waiting for this moment to like physically connect with this man after flirting and sending photos and talking for like 2 years. And when he had one opportunity to even hook up with me, I would have taken him back to my apartment and, you know, brown chicken, brown cow. That's not what he wanted. He was in it for the other kind of intimacy because he's lonely and he doesn't have a girlfriend. So I was just a place filler. So this is just, I mean, y'all, I'm telling you, I was scrolling here to try to give y'all an idea of just how much, even after I met my husband, which was, what is that, 2019 or something like that, this dude still texts me. This is our last message, okay? Hello, July 1st, 2020. And I was like, believe it or not, I'm getting married 3 weeks to a sweet French guy here in Lyon. Best of luck to you and take care. That's me being like, dude, stop talking to me now. Wow, that was quick. Yeah, it was quick. But, you know, confining with someone for months and you can't leave the house at all. Literally locked in by the cops for 23 hours a day because you can go outside for 1 hour of exercise. Yeah, things escalate. I'm like, yeah, you know, life happens. Congratulations. Thanks. Good luck. And then in August, a year later, he's still like, hey, have you been? I have so many examples like that. I'm not even kidding. I've already shown y'all the one of the Italian man, but I can show that again if you want. I have receipts, y'all. These men. And here's the thing. This is where my codependency comes in. I didn't know how to say no to these guys. Like if they just like texted me, I was like, hey, like this is part of my codependency. And so I hope this helps someone. I didn't know how to just cut it off because it's not benefiting me. You know, I would respond because I felt like I had to, or I felt bad for them, which is like my kryptonite. When I feel bad for men, you get me to do anything, which is how that abusive man got me to almost, you know, let him into my life, right? Like if I feel bad for men, pity for men, it's my weak spot. It's my kryptonite, and that's my codependency. So why I'm making this video is if you are in the dating world on dating apps, oh my God, look how dirty my hat is. Do not give just any man your time. And I don't even just mean dating apps. I mean on this app. I can't tell you how many of my mutuals on here, female mutuals, men will just slide into their DM. They're, you know, hey, and then they have a full-blown relationship, even though they live nowhere near each other and they're never going to meet up. They're not even friends, but these men are lonely. They're bored. They don't know how to have real intimacy and create community. And part of that is not their fault. This is part of their social conditioning, but a lot of them aren't doing anything about it. They just use women to fill that hole. Don't let these men use you for intimacy, because intimacy is not just about, you know, schmegs in your body. Intimacy is you just giving of yourself, of anything, giving them your energy, your time, your attention, returning those texts. Why? If it doesn't serve you, stop doing it. Men love to waste our time. Don't let them. You got better stuff to do, babe.